This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. We explore topics surrounding sexuality, intimate relationships, and related subjects in an open and candid manner. Please be advised that we are not licensed marriage or sex therapists, and the content shared here is for entertainment and informational purposes only. If you are under 18 years of age or prefer not to engage with discussions about sex, relationships, or mature language, we strongly recommend that you refrain from listening further. However, if you are of legal age and comfortable with this content, we invite you to settle in and enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Monogamy. I'm Adam,
And I'm Pris.
and today we are having a discussion that we have yet to bring up. We do tout this show as a all things ethical non-monogamy, but I know that we discuss a lot of the sexual aspect of it. We were actually polyamorous for about 5 years. And for people who don't know what polyamorous is, it's an offshoot of ethical non-monogamy. It's away from the sexual aspect. Now, it doesn't take the sexual aspect away completely, but
No.
it is essentially several loves. That's what polyamory means. It means many loves, right? Poly meaning many,
Mm-hmm.
amory meaning loves,
Yes.
deriving from Latin.
Yes.
But essentially that's the basis of it, is that you can have several different romantic relationships, several different loves,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
and it's totally okay.
Right.
Doesn't take away from anybody. Now, how we found out about this was we were in the lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
and we had some good friends of ours who were also in the lifestyle. And I remember very specifically, I think it was a game night or something. I don't remember what it was exactly, but the man of the couple basically looked at me and said, "Oh yeah, well we're polyamory." And I said, "What is that?
What is that?
What is that? I don't know what that
¿Qué
is."
es eso?
That's right. It's like, "What is this? Explain it to me." And that's when he says, "Well, we date others outside of our marriage.
Right.
So it's not just sexual, it's romantic."
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, "Wow, that's interesting." And so we walked away from that conversation. I remember you and I sat down in the evening as we were getting ready for bed, and I remember telling you, "Is this something that we could do? Like, is this even a thing?"
And what did I say?
You were not a fan of the idea.
No.
Didn't sound like an appealing idea to you.
No.
And I said, "Well, I've got a lot of love.
Yes.
I love, don't, first of all, don't give me that. I'm going to stab you. Look, we are not polyamory anymore. We are rehashing this for our friends here on the podcast. So don't look like you're going to stab me."
Okay.
Anyhow,
Go.
if you see me on Dateline Thursday, you'll know what happened. Anyhow, so I remember very specifically telling her, I think that's something I'd be interested in. I'd be interested in dating other people. I think that would be kind of cool, especially if we can find somebody that we can both date together as a couple. That would be really, really neat. And you were like, "Well, I've never been with a girl as far as romantic relationship." And I was like, "Well, now would be a good opportunity for that."
Right.
So we didn't jump right into it.
No, we talked
waited
about
a
it.
year.
I wouldn't say we waited a year.
Yeah, man.
No,
We
it was
talked about
not a
it for
year.
it was almost a year. It was 2016 when we first got introduced to the idea. It was 2017 when we finally took the leap. And so here's what happened. I have a better memory than you.
Okay.
So this is what happened, little Miss Goldfish. What happened was we talked about it. It did not fare very well in conversation.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of let it disappear.
Yeah.
I let it fizzle.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything more about it. And then occasionally, every now and then, I'd bring it up and I'd be like, "Huh, you remember that conversation that was had? That's
Or you'd
interesting."
put on a show or a
So
YouTube or
so that was towards
something.
the end. So towards the end, after all of this back and forth throughout the year, there was a show on Showtime, and gosh, what was it called? I think it was called Polyamory.
Probably.
And it was supposed to be like a reality-based show. Now,
Mhm.
I personally think that some of it was scripted, but it was supposed to be very reality-based, and you're basically following the lives of these 5 or 4 different
Mhm.
polyamory couples. And you can see how they go about their own relationship, how they go about their other relationships that they're dating these other people. some couples dated other couples, but they also dated each other separately, et cetera, et cetera. And so you got to see their lives play
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
But it also showed their sex life, which
Yeah.
tells me that maybe it was scripted.
Right.
Like they would have these beautiful sex
Of course,
scenes
it was
that were like
reality TV.
Cinemax.
So
It was like
yeah.
Cinemax,
Yeah.
but it was on Showtime,
Yeah.
So anyways, we liked the show though. It was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And I remember after that show telling you, I think that we should look into this.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool idea. And you kind of sat back and you said, "Fine,
Yes.
we can try this.
Yeah.
Whatever. But we need rules."
Yes.
And so we kind of established some
We did.
rules,
Right.
but we started our 5-year polyamory journey. Now, the problem was we started it in 2017,
Mhm.
and in 2019,
Toward the end of 2019, I moved.
you moved to where we live now.
Right.
And I went ahead and sent you by yourself to basically you were the first one to get a job. You were going to go out there and you were going to kind of set things up for us
Mhm.
while I stayed back and finished the school year with the kids.
Right.
And so I was playing single dad while you were playing
Single. Single.
single woman,
Yeah.
single Beyonce,
Yes.
working at your little office there. And we would see each other on weekends,
Yeah.
every other weekend, not even
Yeah.
every weekend,
Yeah.
every other weekend,
Well, no, we would see each other almost every weekend
almost
because
every. Yeah.
you would have to drop off kids.
Right.
So you'd come this way and I'd see you and the kids, and then
And
I'd
then you would come down whenever I
come
could.
down.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And then so yeah, it
So
got
it was a little crazy that 2019 year was a little crazy.
right.
But then of course we moved to our current town in 2019 and
So we're doing poly separate, but when we first started, we were doing poly together.
together.
So
Absolutely.
I think we started off like on sites. There's different sites for you to find a partner, a poly partner.
Hmm.
And I decided, okay, well, I'm going to try to meet up with a guy. And so I remember meeting up with a guy, having dinner with them and doing that, going out on different dates, right? So I would always find a fault. Like I didn't like the whole situation, and so I think I went in it with I don't know, doubts pretty much.
Yeah. So well, I mean, the whole journey, you really had
Was not I
doubts.
am the sour apple when it comes to poly.
Oh yeah.
Did
She
not
did not like Polly.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole sharing, the whole relationship thing. And I mean, I'm the one who says pretty much straight up, I'm the one who stopped it. Like it wasn't for me. It's not something I like.
Well, now you stopped it, but really I was already on board.
You are. And because
Yeah.
we are very if it's not gonna work out for either of us, we're not gonna do it. Like, I
Right.
if one of us wants to stop, we're gonna stop. And so I tried dating a guy, didn't work out. When I moved here, we were doing separate poly because I think we came to the conclusion that it was gonna be hard for us to
For us
find
to find somebody that we can
yeah, like
all
couples,
right.
right? And so I ended up moving here and I ended up dating 2 women here.
Separate times.
Separate times. So the
Yeah.
first woman had just come out of a divorce and I dated her
And she was a lesbian,
and
so
she
she came
was
out of a female
a female
marriage.
marriage, 20 years,
Yeah.
and dated her. She was really, really sweet,
It's nice.
very nice. And then,
Canadian.
yeah, it was very weird for me to date because
Why?
nobody really knows this, but you're my 3rd marriage.
Yeah.
I got married when I was 18 to a boyfriend who was my boyfriend from the age of 13.
Mm.
And so it was just him. After I left him, I immediately got with my 2nd marriage, and he was an old boyfriend, married him, had kids with him, and then got with you after I left that guy.
Almost yeah, very
So I
quickly.
have never dated as
Yeah.
opposed to you have dated people. So
Yeah.
me going into poly and dating was I've only dated and married.
Okay.
So it was really super weird for me. And so I had to get used to that. But then I had to get used to it while being married,
Mhm.
which was hard to do because I'm married, I have kids, I have a family. And so I couldn't balance that. But when I was here by myself, it was okay. It was easy. I had a lot of guilt,
You
but
had guilt?
internal guilt for myself, just me. Like
Really?
I could be spending my time with my husband and my kids, but I'm spending
When
time
we
with
were out here or when
when
you were here by
when I was
yourself?
here by myself. Like I was like, I should just be spending these evenings. I should just drive home.
Oh, I
Like it was
gotcha.
really
I
hard for me.
gotcha.
And I was going through menopause and I
Right.
was going through different depression stuff. So
And that really, it's funny because I wonder how long we would have stayed poly if you hadn't been going through menopause and if you hadn't been going through that depression and we hadn't been separated. Would we still have
would it have been
ended it 5
easier?
years later? Would it have been easier? Would we have found our footing? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
I
I don't think you would have liked poly
I
no matter
I
what.
don't think so. I didn't have the mental. I'm not that person. Poly works for some people, and
Now,
I'm very happy that it works for some people.
what is it about it that doesn't work for you?
I do not like sharing my time. I don't like you sharing your time. If you're gonna go and be with friends, you go be friends.
Right.
But like relationship, it's a relationship. You gotta get gifts. You gotta take out.
Yeah,
You gotta spend
recognize
time.
birthdays
You
and
gotta, and
holidays.
I'm like, yeah, no. The person wants a title, and
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I don't think so. And that's just me. That doesn't work for me.
right,
Like,
right.
you want to go and have sex with somebody? No, I'm not saying that as the lifestyle that we're leading now, you're not supposed to have some kind of relationship with that person that you're sleeping with. By all means, have one. We do have them.
Yeah,
We're friends with all of our friends.
which is it's a relationship.
It is a
Yeah,
relationship. The poly is a different type of relationship. It is
romantic.
more romantic and a different kind of intimacy that
So
I am not willing to share.
that really I think is what it comes down to is the intimacy.
Yes.
Because realistically, our relationships with our friends,
Yes.
we love them.
Yeah.
Like truly love our friends.
Yes.
And we would do anything for them. We'll take them out to eat for their birthdays or whatever. Like
Yeah.
there is a small form of commitment to it, but it is not a romantic thing.
Yeah.
It is not, hey, let's cuddle on the couch and watch a movie together.
A-
Yeah.
So they were not poly, most of them.
Yeah.
They
Most
were
of
just
them were
trying to,
just single women.
yeah, they were single women. And so me being territorial, them wanting labels, them wanting a lot of attention, just wasn't sitting well with me.
What I noticed was when we were poly at the beginning and we were looking for a woman to join us to be an equal partner in our
Oh,
relationship.
because we did date.
We did.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And there was a good friend of ours who I had known since high school, and she became good friends with you.
Right.
And we had discussed it, and the interest was there, and it seemed like it was going to work. And she seemed interested in you just as much as she was interested in me. But then as time went on, she seemed to connect more with me romantically and less with you romantically and more
Yes.
with you as a friend.
Mhm.
And so I think you kind of, when you noticed that, you kind of gave up on the idea of holding that relationship. And you were just like, I'm just going to chill here at home. You guys go have fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for that. But I was like, oh,
I
okay, we'll give this a shot.
so I did this disconnect.
Oh, yeah.
And now analyzing it, I did a disconnect to where I let you poly the way you wanted to and just disconnect myself from that because I didn't want to feel I would get these very jealous and insecure, like just super, I was super insecure.
Sure.
And I didn't, and so I would disconnect myself and kind of push myself away from you. And it just caused more,
And I noticed it, and I
yeah,
remember after we moved out here, you had that disconnect with certain, because I was dating still.
right.
And I remember sitting down talking to you and going, you're seeming very removed.
Yeah.
Like you have no
Like I was
feelings.
just like, whatever.
Yeah. And I know you. I know you have feelings. I know you have very active feelings. So what is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
And you really didn't want to hinder me from
experiences.
Right,
Mhm,
right, and I
mhm,
get that, I
mhm.
understand that, but at the same time, I was jarring you to just talk to me, you
Right.
know what I mean? Just have
Yeah.
that conversation with me, and let's talk, and you weren't doing it,
No.
and by the time that for me, poly I'll be very flat out honest with you, I liked poly,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I
Yeah.
think that I could actually probably pull off poly pretty well. What hinders me from poly is you, and I don't
Yes.
mean that in a negative
Oh, I
way.
know.
We've
Yeah.
had these conversations before. I don't mean that in a negative way at all. What hinders me from enjoying poly is that I love you, and
Right.
there are certain, like we said earlier, there's certain intimacies that we share that only can share and feel comfortable sharing with each other.
Right.
And I just don't feel comfortable sharing that with others. There's
Yeah.
certain things that we do, certain things that we share with only each other. And so knowing that, could I have made it work? Yeah, I could have. But by the time that you told me you were ready to throw in the towel with Polly, I was kind of at my wit's end with dating because
Yeah.
by this time I'm in my late 30s, like 38, 39,
Yeah.
and I'm getting closer to the 40 end. And the only way to date now, it seems, is via app.
Mhm.
Everything is app.
Mhm.
And that means that in order to find somebody that's you're interested in or that is interested in you, you have to see their picture and decide from their picture if that's somebody that you would like to date. Now, I personally have a poor self image of myself.
Mhm.
So knowing that people are going to be judging me off of what I look like, and I don't even like what I look like, there's no way that people are going to click on me. And when they do click on me, I'm going to be like, what's wrong with this person? You know what I
Right.
mean? So I did get some people that were interested, and we would go out on dates and we would talk and this sort of thing, and of course these people on these apps, they're having like 8 or 10 other conversations
Conversations.
with other
Yeah.
people.
Right.
And so
'Cause the dating app, I
yeah,
mean.
and once somebody finds you and they like the connection, they get excited and they wanna talk to you every day, and then eventually it fizzles after, like, a
Right.
week,
Mhm.
and then it fizzles, and then one day they just ghost you, and it's like, "Oh, sorry, I had these other conversations
Yeah.
going on."
Yeah.
So it didn't seem very serious, and then the ones that were interested in me, I'd be like, "Look, if you really wanna have a relationship with me, you have to know what's gonna be involved here."
Right.
You're not getting a single guy. You're getting a ready-made family. So I said, I am very busy. I have a full-time job. I have a full-time home life.
Mhm.
I'm very close to my kids. I have 4 kids at home. I have my wife who's my best friend, and we're used to spending time together. So they're my priorities, and whatever time I have left over, you can have.
Right.
But I also have to figure in some time for myself
Yeah.
on top of that.
Yeah.
And so most of these women, whenever I would break it down to me, I'd be like, sorry to be so cut and dry about it, but my family is the most important thing to me. And nobody will be able to top that.
Right.
And they would always say, oh, that's no big deal. I'm down for the ride. Let's do this. And I'm like, okay, if that's really what you want to do. And we would try it.
Right.
And we would date. We would go out every now and then. We'd have conversations, and in the beginning, it would be okay. And then they'd want more from me. They'd want more
Yeah.
time.
Which every relationship does, right? It
Exactly.
always
And I can't
grows.
I can't say that with any kind of meanness.
No.
They were in a relationship. They were looking for more,
Yeah.
and I could not give that to
Yeah.
them. And eventually the last relationship that I had before we stopped being poly, I remember I told her, I was like, look, you're requiring more of my time. You're requiring me to contact you more, things like that, and you're getting upset when I can't. I said, "This is exactly what we talked about at the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
this was gonna happen."
Yeah.
I said, "So, with that, I don't think that we should be in this relationship together."
Right.
And she pleaded with me, and she was like, "No, we can make it work. I promise. I will. It'll get better. I promise." But by that time, I was already checked out, and
Yeah.
I was like, "No,
Yeah.
I really don't wanna deal with this stress anymore." When she would text me, I caught myself, like, rolling my eyes going, "Ugh,
Yeah.
I feel obligated to have to answer this
Yeah.
text," you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I think I told you that. I was
And
like, "I
and
feel obligated to
and,
have to
like
talk to her."
and dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You're
like,
like,
I was like,
"Man."
"I'm obligated because I'm in this relationship.
Yeah.
This is not a friendship thing where I can go, 'Yeah, I don't think so.'"
Yeah.
It was an obligation
Yeah.
because I'm now in this relationship, and if I don't try, then I'm failing the relationship.
Yeah.
And so I just was kinda like, "No, I don't think this is gonna work out," and so we ended it, and I hadn't really talked or dated anybody, and I remember us driving and you and I were getting into an argument about something like finances or whatever, and
Yeah.
then it just came out in the middle of sentence. You were just like, "I don't wanna be poly anymore."
It was something I was holding on to for a
Well, and I'm
very long
realizing
time.
that,
Yeah.
when leading up to it, things were not we weren't vibing, and there's very few
I
times
had
in
removed
our
myself.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there's very few times in our life that we've been together where we
Yes.
haven't vibed,
Yes.
and this was probably one of 2 times
Yeah.
that we've been together, and it was like a week or 2 leading up to it, I was like, "There's something wrong.
Right.
She's not acting her normal self around me, she's not being her usual self, something's up." And I would prod and I'd be like, "Are you okay? You don't wanna talk?" "No, everything's fine, everything's fine."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Well, maybe it's the finances, we're coming out of COVID and all this shit,
Yeah.
we're trying to find a job." We were down to 1 vehicle, so we were driving to our jobs together and we
Yeah.
were commuting like an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that was
It was
stressful.
hard.
It was
Yeah.
stressful.
Yeah.
And I figured maybe that was it. And it finally culminated into this big argument that we had on the way to work one morning in the thick of
Of traffic.
central Texas traffic. And that's when you said, you were like, "I don't wanna be poly anymore." And my immediate response was I stepped back and I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's not be poly anymore, but that doesn't explain to me why we're having this argument right now."
Yeah.
And that's when we started discussing, "Oh, this is what the argument was about.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't about finances. It
No.
was this."
Yeah.
And so then after that, you were very worried that it was going to break us up because you knew that I liked poly.
Yeah, and I didn't wanna hinder the whole. So, yeah, me removing myself, it caused a lot of issues in the fact we talked about it,
It
right?
wasn't over for a while though, because even though I said, "Okay,"
Yeah.
I think that you really thought in the weeks leading up after that I was gonna leave you.
Well, yeah, and I remember feeling so bad. So when I say, "Oh, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that," or I say, "Well, yeah, go ahead, let's try it, whatever." I'm not in it for like I'm not really in it in my heart. So when the poly thing ended, I was like, "Okay, well, I was prepared for us to end only because I was like, I don't want to hinder you. Like,
Right,
I'm not here to rule your life. Although we are married, I'm not here like
right.
we're partners. And if that's something you really want to do, I was like, okay, well, if that's something he really wants to do, then I'm okay with it. We're going to figure this out. We're going to be best friends. We probably won't be married anymore. We're going to be best friends. And yeah.
Gosh, that's horrible. No, but so hypothetically speaking, say I wanted to be poly again. Could we to where, because I know you don't wanna be poly.
Yeah.
Would you let me be poly and you be
No.
no,
No.
I wouldn't wanna be either.
No.
It's
No.
just a hypothetical, but I wouldn't wanna. I've already when we stopped being poly, I was already at the end of my rope with dating. Let's face facts. I am 42 years old. Dating in your 40s sucks. Dating in your 30s sucks. So, like, it's not fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not fun. So, yeah. So, anyways, I have to stop right there because you are having like an emotional reaction right now
Yeah.
to our
So
conversation.
so poly makes me feel really bad. Like the time that it was happening, I wasn't in a good mental state. And so I remember, I guess, all the relationships that we had,
Yeah.
and I just kind of internally feel bad about it.
What do you mean internally feel bad
So,
about it?
like, we went through that, and it's just like it's like a trauma thing for me.
So it's
Okay.
like I was not in a right headspace,
Uh-huh.
and we went into it, and I just wasn't in a right headspace, and so, like, I'm remembering all the situations. Now, you and I were fine because I would remove myself, but I literally removed myself.
Uh-huh.
Like, probably the last 2 years of being poly were really not good for me.
Yeah.
Like, I was in and out of relationships with women.
Right.
It was you and I don't think we were very close. Like, we were just married and doing our thing. We weren't what we're now. I will say that poly made us
A lot of good came
a
out of
lot
poly.
of good came out of it
Yeah.
now, but just you're talking and you're talking about how I reacted to the situations and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like, dang, that was really crappy, but it's really I didn't like it. Like, poly is not something that I could ever do again, but looking back at it, I was like, "Man, those were some really hard times for me because I wasn't talking to you about."
No, and that was the worst part about it,
Yeah,
was
because
that
I
we
talked
were
to
not
you.
having that
Yeah,
conversation.
I talked to you about everything. Like, I could talk to you about swinging all day
Yeah.
and how I feel and
Right.
what emotion I'm having, but poly is a trigger for me that it just upsets me. Like, I don't know, and not upset me like, "Oh, we shoulda never done that." Just upsets me as the way I guess the way I was acting and the way I was feeling.
So you were more upset with yourself
Yeah,
regarding how you
handled.
handled everything.
Yes, like, it wasn't.
You would think I'd be more traumatic with it because I was kind of on the brunts of it.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm not really. I
no,
mean, I know the person that I married,
yeah,
and you are. I've always said you're reactive, and I was more logical,
yeah,
and where we balanced.
yes,
And so situations would arise, and you would react, and we would talk.
yeah,
And this was always kind of the thing. You would react to something, we would talk, you would sit back and you'd go, "Okay, we'll see, we'll try this. Fine."
yeah,
And then things would seemingly be okay
right,
for a month or 2,
yeah,
and then something would happen and you'd start acting a little bit darker, a little bit shadier. Something was going on, like you weren't talking to me. And I would start prodding you and I'd be like, "Something's wrong. You're
yeah.
not talking to me." Like, "No,
No,
everything's fine.
nothing.
Nothing."
Because I didn't know how to process the emotions and the
Right.
feelings.
And the whole time I knew something was wrong.
Right.
And the whole time I'm trying to get it out of you and you're not giving me what I need.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, things are going to explode at some point.
Yeah.
And we just kept going through it. And then we would have this small blow up and we'd argue and then we'd talk. You'd react, we'd talk it out, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm okay.
Right.
And we kept going through these cycles.
Yeah.
Um, and there was things that I mean, it was all new territory for me too. And that's what I was trying to explain was I am not by far experienced poly. We jumped into it the same time with the same information
Right.
and I was really trying to learn. But I honestly think that I was like poly in high school. Like I never realized that there was a name to it for me.
Right.
I
It wasn't just
remember,
being a hoe.
yeah, it wasn't being a hoe.
No. Yeah.
It was like I would be dating a girl and it would be a nice relationship. Everything would seem fine. But then I would be interested in another girl.
Yeah.
And I would be, and I was always, I remember in high school, I would have a talk with myself and I'd be like, why? Why are you feeling this way? What's
Yeah.
wrong with you
Yeah.
that you can't just be happy in the relationship that you're in? And so, fast forward to my first marriage, I was very, I guess you could say, loyal to her, even though it was a horrible marriage.
Right.
Um, I never cheated on her, and she used to always accuse me of cheating, and I remember thinking, "Well, if she's gonna accuse me of cheating, I might as well do it, right?"
Yeah.
And I was with her for 7 years, and I never, ever did. But there was girls that were there, and I would be them, but I would really try not to have anything above of a friendship.
Right.
Um, and then you and I got together, and it was the same thing, but we were swingers, so
Yeah.
it was different. It was just we still had connections with others sexually, but the early on of the lifestyle was primarily you having your fun and me just kind of going along for the ride
Right.
because everybody wants the girl, you know? And so realistically, at the beginning of our lifestyle, it was all you and you were having a great time. And I wasn't getting satisfied from the connection. I wasn't
Yeah.
being able to talk to people. I wasn't being able to share connections with others. And that was a bummer for me because that's what I really enjoy. I enjoy getting to know other people. I enjoy asking them questions and finding out how to react to things and just things like that. Like I know your reactions to everything
Right.
and we know each other 100%.
Yes.
And still learning a lot about you, which I think is really, really cool. But it's the learning process about everybody else that I really enjoy. So now that we're not poly, I still get to satisfy that portion of me because we are close enough with each other and secure enough in our relationship for you to say, go hang out with so that's
Yeah.
your friend. She's your
Yeah.
friend. Go hang out
Yeah.
with her, and if y'all have sex, cool, just let me know. Things like that because
Yeah.
you know that it's not a romantic thing.
Yes.
It's a connection that I'm looking
Yeah.
for, and that's what I really
Yeah.
like. You know what I mean? I'm going to find somebody and say, "Hey, you're my girlfriend now." Nah, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need
Yeah.
to give anybody a title.
That's I think it was just a different chapter that was very, very hard for me.
Yeah.
You know, I you're my husband. You know what I mean? So it's like I married you. Sorry, if you want to date,
Well,
you know.
in the beginning, after we called the whole poly thing,
Yeah.
and you used to tell me this, how you were feeling and that sort
Yeah.
of thing, and I didn't understand it at first
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't get it. I'm your husband. Like that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I'm still your husband. And it doesn't make sense to me. Now I'm sitting back, and it's been a few years. I've had this clarity now. But now I can sit back and go, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
understand. Because you had to work very hard, or so you say, to get the title of girlfriend
I
when
did.
it came to me.
Yes.
Because I was fresh out of a divorce and I wasn't looking for a relationship. You just kind of came along.
Yeah.
And so you worked very hard to get what you want. We worked very hard at this relationship
Yes.
and we kind of built our own personal dynasty in this family.
Yeah.
Like we have built something really great
We
here.
have.
We have great kids. We have a great relationship.
Yeah.
Our life is great. So the thought of you letting me, and I use that term loosely, but letting me go out and date others and knowing that this other person may get parts of me that normally are reserved for you,
Yeah.
I can see how that would bother.
Yeah.
I can see how that would really just kind of stick in your craw.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it then because I was more, I guess you could say,
Self-involved.
I was, yeah. I was
Yeah.
actually blinded by the fact that I wanted a relationship. Now, there's more to it than that.
There is.
Primarily because, like I've said on past, I didn't feel the love. I didn't get relationships
Yeah.
I
You
was a
very
popular person.
you're a very needy
I
person.
can be. I
You
can
can
be.
be very needy, and I'm good with that. For me to have
Yeah.
you share your neediness with other people, I'm like, yeah, nah,
Yeah.
that's for me.
Right.
But
Right.
yes, so that's the only reason I didn't want to stop poly because I was like, man, he really likes this. He really needs this.
Yeah.
But even like now, it's like you thrive for that kind of connection, and now you get it, and you're good. Like,
Yeah.
but
And a good example, and I know I always feel saying this, but I have a really good friend who is a woman in the lifestyle who is married.
right,
And of course, I'm married.
right,
Having a really good friend who I talk to almost every day and having that friendship with somebody like that, I thought for certain it was going to be an issue.
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought for certain it was going to be an issue because I know it is what it is. I'm not looking for a romantic connection with this girl. I have everything that I need from her as far as she's a really good friend.
Right.
And I get to have good conversation and shit like that. I have great conversation with you
Yeah.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
So, those things where you got to kind of sit back and go, well, what am I getting from her that I'm not getting from my wife? Well, it's not a matter of what I'm getting from her, I'm not getting from you. It's I'm getting something different. I'm getting the same thing, but it's different
Uh-huh.
because she's a different personality
Right.
with different answers and that sort of thing. It's just it's that connection of getting to know somebody and figuring them out and just being able to connect on a different level as a friend. And I was sitting back the other day, I was like, I couldn't be in a relationship with this person. Like an
No,
actual
you
relationship.
couldn't.
Well, first of all, she's a lot like me.
Yeah.
She's a lot like me.
She's very intellectual.
Yeah, and so she's you're smart.
No, but she's a different kind. She's
Well, so
she's intellectual like you.
yeah, and so she's a lot
Which
like me, cool. And so I was telling her that the other day. I was like, I could never be in a relationship with you because you're you're too much like me.
Yeah.
Like we're friends, and I love myself enough to be friends with myself.
Yeah.
And that's why this works.
Yeah.
But I could never be in a relationship with anybody. And I was thinking about that the other day. I can't be in a relationship with anybody else.
Yeah.
Not like that. Not a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Because something happens internally where the moment romantic feelings are discussed, it flips a switch inside me that makes me feel uncomfortable. And I
Okay.
don't like that feeling
Yeah.
of being uncomfortable. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of it.
Yeah.
And so it just does nothing for me. So I think it's really cool. If it weren't for the poly experience, I would be able to have my friends that I have now. We would be able to do separate things like we do.
Possibly. Yeah. It's really helped us. It's helped us grow. And I was one way poly and you were another way poly.
Now, how do you mean?
Like you were self-involved. You were all about you.
Oh.
And poly, I was more about us. So
Now I'm curious because you were dating that one girl that was not about us.
no, but I ended up bringing you in.
Yeah, you kept bringing me. Well, so
Exactly.
that one
But-
girl did not.
But there was also another girl that I was dating. You're like, well, you should see if she wants to date us.
Oh, well, so
So-
no, that wasn't my idea. That was your idea, and that one fell through. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like I was more us and
Yeah.
then you were more you
I got
in the poly.
I got you.
And so things like that, it just, I don't know. It wasn't, it's helped me grow. I'm a better human because we experienced that. And I'm definitely better at communicating.
Oh man,
Like
totally.
that right there
100%.
flipped a switch and I tell you everything. And I'm not, so when we started this lifestyle, I was like, whatever, Adam, whatever I can give him. Right. Because I was more experienced and you weren't. Now it's not like that.
No,
Now you are not self-involved. You are all about us.
everything that we do, I kind of try
Yeah.
to keep
And
in
so
mind.
like you've grown.
Yeah.
You have sat back, like you said, and looked at the big picture. You aren't back then you were all experiences. I mean,
Right.
now you are very self-aware of us.
Well,
It is an us
a lot of
thing.
things changed with the conversations that happened after we stopped being poly.
Yeah.
Because realistically, we sat down and we had so many conversations about what transpired and how we feel
And how did
what
we handle-
see. Yeah, and everything, just rehashing. And that's where I learned a lot about what you were carrying. Never did
Yeah.
during that entire 5-year time.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
No.
And I remember you telling, and just like you were crying a little while ago, you were crying throughout those different conversations. And
Yeah.
it's like, there is nothing that I hate more than to be the reason why you are shedding tears.
Right.
And so to have these conversations and to hear that your feelings were hurt here and, I didn't think about you here and this and that. And I was just like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
But of course I had no idea you weren't telling me.
Not only, yeah.
But I wasn't
but I didn't
thinking
know how,
about it
yeah.
either.
And I didn't know how to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how to express myself.
And realistically, a good husband would have known. a good husband would have been able to see that and go, okay, she's acting different. This is not good.
Yeah.
But you're right. I was very self-involved. I was looking more for my experiences
Yeah.
on this,
Yeah.
and primarily because I knew that you didn't like it or you weren't looking forward to it as much as I was.
Right.
Plus, I had better luck dating than you did.
Yeah.
It's
I'm a
just
bit
easier.
pickier.
You are quite
I
picky.
am very
Yeah,
picky.
and
So
nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So I didn't want to date just anybody. I was very, very picky on who I was going to date
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But so yeah, you had way more, I guess, people to choose from. But it definitely has brought us. That chapter's gone.
That chapter is gone. And, this is something that I've had this conversation with a lot of people because um, there are a lot of people who are in the lifestyle who are also poly.
Yeah.
And fucking rock on, man. If you can
We
make
have
it work,
friends.
that's friggin' great.
We have friends where they're married and one is more poly than the other. The other one
Yeah.
is not looking,
Right. And it works for them.
it works for
And
them.
there's no problems and you know what? Nobody can tell you how to lifestyle.
No.
I'm a big believer in that. What
Nobody
works for
can.
you guys, that works for you guys. And maybe it doesn't work for everybody, but who cares? If it works for you, then it works for you. Um, and I get real excited whenever I do see people successfully being poly, because I know how hard that is. Like, I know how hard the experiences are.
Yeah.
And I'm not envious of that. Some people have it really, really well figured out, and some people don't. Some people are just kind of flying by the seat of their pants. There's people that you see, this isn't going to work out. It's
Yeah.
probably not a great idea.
Exactly.
We've had people tell us, hey, we've been in the lifestyle, but we're considering poly. What can you tell us about that? And the first thing I want to tell them is, don't do it, guy. I've seen your marriage. I know what you guys shouldn't even be lifestyle, much less poly.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there's certain people that it's just not going to work because it takes a very strong, solid relationship before you can even consider having those talks.
And I mean, don't go into any lifestyle without having really in-depth conversations about how you're feeling and what you want.
Oh yeah.
That's the one thing. We went into poly without really having in-depthation. One of us was ready to go in and one of us was not ready to go in, but we
Yeah.
did it anyway.
We did it anyway.
So it can work for some people and it has worked for some people. We have friends who have been poly for 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it worked for them.
Yeah.
And we have friends that poly destroyed them.
Yeah. And we have friends that they shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
But
and we have friends that the lifestyle just in general has destroyed them.
Yeah.
Because of lack of communication.
Right.
It really just comes down to that. So, I mean, if you're already in an unstable relationship, you should really sit back and think about what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And talk it out. Like,
really.
do not do what we did.
Well, now, we were talking about this the other day in that our views on our poly experiences are very different because whenever we talk about poly, you have very negative views about our experiences and understandably so.
Yes.
And when I look at our poly, I look at it and go, we were successful. We're not poly anymore, but we were successful in the fact that we grew as people.
Very
from
true.
those experiences.
Yeah, no, very true. I mean, I can talk to you about anything and I express to you how I feel about everything. And it makes you crazy, but I'm like, it is what it is, man.
Oh man,
Like
yeah, yeah. No, you're very open and
we are
honest and
going to,
upfront.
we're going to agree to disagree. We'll touch back that subject later, but I am very about what I want, what I think we should do, or we should handle this, and then we discuss it.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know?
what's good is that yes, you are more open and upfront and direct about what you want and your needs and that sort of thing. But at the same time, you do sit down at the table and have the discussion with me and you'll negotiate with me if
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
I'm not 100% on your side.
Yeah.
And we'll work things out. this is not the way it was before we were poly.
No.
Before we were poly, you were very submissive, and you're still very submissive to me, but completely submissive to me. Whatever I said, we would do.
Yes.
And, occasionally you would kind of make it known that you didn't care for something or whatever, but you'd be like, "We can do this. It's fine." Not so much anymore. Now you're very, very open about how you feel and what you disagree with, what you don't wanna do. Like, I can straight up ask you, "Hey, can we be poly?" And no. And you know what? I that
Yeah.
because if you looked at me knowing full well what I know about you now,
Yeah.
if you looked at me and went, "Yeah, I guess we can try it," I will know that that is not you saying that.
No, very direct now on my
Yeah.
answers. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it really has. It taught me, for me, it was negative, but it did teach me how to just straight up and say what I want and what I feel. I mean, you and I still have talks about the lifestyle
Mhm.
and what we want from it.
Yeah.
And I know how to talk to you and how to put it in a certain way, and you know how to talk to me and put it in a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, we have definitely grown.
We have grown. And so because of that, that's what I was saying. I don't feel like our experience was necessarily negative. Yeah, you can look back on it and you focus on all the things that you felt you did wrong. And I think that's not great because realistically, there was a lot that we did right.
Yeah.
There was a lot that we did right for the sake of our own relationship. There was a lot that we did right for the sake of our own mental health, and getting out of it was something that we should have done, and the
Yeah.
way we did it worked.
It did.
It worked
It
just fine.
did. It did.
But I think that whole experience made you say, "I need to make this change as far as
Yes.
our communication and
Yeah.
how we do
Yeah.
things," and I couldn't agree with you more, and I feel because of that, we were successfully poly, and
Yeah.
we got out of our experience successfully poly.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and so when people talk to me about it and they're like, "Well, I'm considering doing this," I will give them a 100% open and honest, "This is what we went through. This is what I think." And when people talk to you about it, you're like, "Oh, are you serious? You don't wanna do that? You don't wanna do that. Trust me. Here's
I
why."
don't say that.
Pretty much.
I
I
just
have heard
tell
you say
them,
that.
I mean, if a friend comes up to me and is like, "Well, I'm really suggesting this." I already know my friend. I probably already know their relationship, so I'm gonna be very honest with them.
Yeah, and
Like,
there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, I'm a big believer in you don't discourage, right? Because while you may know their relationship and you may know them as friends, nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors.
no,
Nobody but them.
no.
And you just never know. I mean, you just never know.
The way I talk to you is the way I talk to my friends. So I'm very straight up and forward.
Don't I know it? And your friends know it too. Believe that.
Very straight up
Everybody
and
knows it.
forward. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
so
no, I agree. But I think I've said it a billion times. I'm really thankful for our experiences in poly. I'm glad that you were on board to give it a try
Yeah.
and not just give it a try for 6 months and go, "No, I don't like this." And then,
No.
like, we gave it 5 years,
Yeah.
5 very long years,
Yes.
at a very, very crazy time.
Yes.
And, I had some really interesting experiences. Now, if it weren't for that poly experience, we certainly wouldn't be having separate conversations with people
No.
or having separate friends with benefits and things like
No.
that. Like, what we're doing now is really because of our experiences from poly.
I will 110% agree with you on that.
Yeah, because
Like,
that wouldn't have happened.
no. I was very, insecure,
Yeah,
super insecure,
yeah.
but we didn't have communication the way we have now.
That is true too.
So
Yeah.
not that you hide anything, but we're just very different now. It's very open, our communication is like on top.
I
Like,
try to be more open. I mean, I don't hide anything, but it's one of those things where we didn't talk about a whole lot of stuff. Um, that were we didn't like to have a whole lot of uncomfortable conversations.
right.
And then we got used to having uncomfortable conversations because of
Yes.
poly. And now afterwards, I know I can sit here and tell you, "Hey, I need your best friends right now."
Yeah.
And this is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Or this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And okay, when I tell you I need your best friend ears, or when you tell me that,
Yeah.
we both know that we shouldn't be reacting.
No.
We just need to listen.
Yes.
We need to process. And then when it's our turn to speak, we'll talk.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's worked.
It has.
It has worked.
Yeah.
And we have great conversations. And I think it's been one of those things where you're like, well, I don't really understand it, but I'll think about it and let me process it. You tell me, let me process it, and I'll get back to you.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my way now.
Yeah.
That's okay. Let me process it, and I mean, it's poly is everybody. The
No.
lifestyle isn't for everybody.
No, it really isn't.
You know, you just said something, and it was like, exactly. Like, you need to be open to communication. You need to be open to being best friends and
Yeah.
understanding that you both are probably coming from two different angles.
Yeah.
You're not going to poly the same, but you need to at least talk about it.
Yeah, because if you're having the conversation as a married couple, then if I tell my wife, man, I want to see this woman by myself. Like,
Yeah.
I want to have some sort of relationship with her. As my wife would look at me and go, fuck that.
Yeah.
And
Good for you wanting that.
I ought to smack you just for even bringing it up.
Yeah.
But my best friend,
Yeah.
I can say that too. And my best friend would go, okay, well, it's probably not the best of ideas, and here's why.
Yeah.
And then you can break it down as a best friend.
Yeah.
And then after that, once that talk is held, you're already pretty calm and cool, and you can go, now from a married woman aspect, from your aspect, fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's pretty much how we handle every conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's because I am very reactive.
You are. But you've
And
gotten better.
I've gotten better, but I am very reactive. And you're very understanding. More so now.
I'm trying. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's our conversations that we have, these in-depth conversations that we have on a regular basis,
Mhm.
that have really made me learn your thought processes
Mhm.
and what you go and just kind of, I can normally figure out how you're going to react to something beforehand.
Right.
So like a good example is, we're out at an event, and you and I we're meeting people, and we're sitting there at a table, and this girl comes up and she introduces herself to you, and she says, "Oh yeah, me and your husband, we've been talking for about a year now. We've been
Ugh.
talking for a while now."
Ugh.
And just hearing that phrase, "Me and your husband, we've been talking for a while now." The way it was phrased, I knew. Like, just hearing her say it to you, I knew. I was like, "Oh, dude, why'd you have to put it that way?
Yeah.
Here we go."
Yeah.
And then I saw the face, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, we're gonna revisit this one
Yeah.
later."
I don't
Yeah.
I don't like, even when it's posted, it's like, "Oh, hey, is,"
But how do you phrase
I
that?
know so I do not like, I know the conversation is going with whomever
Right.
you're talking to. I know the exchanges that are happening
Right.
between you and whomever. And like, if you post something, or like or somebody commenting like, "Oh, doesn't that look familiar?" Or, "Hey, aren't you getting," you know what it's all
Almost
about.
like an inside joke
Yeah,
kinda
like
thing, yeah.
like, you know what that's all about, right, Adam? And it's like, okay, keep it to yourself. Does do you like that conversation? Is that conversation going well? Keep it to yourself, or it's gonna end.
But well, so that's the thing is,
I don't need to know. Like,
but they're not, so, like, what you just the example that you just put out, that specifically isn't put out there to catch your attention and make you feel bad. It's
now how do you
to
know that?
capture my attention.
But how do you know that?
But see, why would anybody want to get a rise out of you for that? If they're enjoying me as a person, and they know what our dynamic is,
Yeah.
and they know where they fit into all of that,
Yeah.
how do you know that they would be going out of their way just to upset you.
And it's probably not. And I actually, you know what? I guarantee you it's not.
I guarantee you it's
I
not
can
too.
bet that it's not done to get any reaction from.
Well, primarily because people know how you feel about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You're not very quiet, even if you take the podcast away.
Right.
There's a lot of people that
Yeah, and no,
know
and
how
you're
you feel.
right. Don't these people don't know that I don't like that. Now, can I pinpoint why I don't like that? I don't. I don't know.
It's just something that irks you.
It's something that irks me.
Mm.
I don't know why it bothers me. But yeah, you're right. They're definite. I know for a fact these people are not doing it to get a rise out of me.
No, and a lot of times it's because we tout our great relationship.
Yeah.
And that
But
we're so open and honest with each other and whatnot, and you don't really
but
care and this
maybe
sort of
I
thing.
think you're right on I don't care for the inside jokes.
Really?
Yeah. Like just not my thing. Like nah. No cutesiness. No cutesiness.
But
We're
you
good.
do it. You have that with friends. Like things get posted and this and that.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
because I'm not like that.
I'm not like that either.
No, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like that.
What do you mean?
Like I'm not one to say, ha, hey, John Smith, does that sound familiar?
Yeah, you're not one to do that, but other people are.
No.
I'm not doing that with
Yeah, no,
others.
no, I know that, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not that girl. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh hey, does this sound familiar to you? You know, like that's just not me. I don't like the inside joke thing. It's not cutesy to me. But I mean, some people do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you are very right that they are not doing it to get a rise out of me. They don't even know that it gets a rise. Only you know.
Well, now everybody listening to this.
But you know.
Yeah.
You know that it's just something.
There's been times where
Yeah.
we've been together out someplace and
Oh
somebody
my
has said something and I'm just like, why did you say that? Now I'm gonna hear about that on the road.
You know what it is? And it's funny that you know it because you and I just know it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, I'm like, really?
Yeah, and we make eye contact and it's like, damn it. We're gonna get along just fine right now.
Hey, there's just little things. I can't help it.
No, you can help it. You can help it for sure. But I think that I wouldn't change it.
No.
I think that everything that we've been through and everything that we've done, it has
And are
led
going
up to this,
through.
and are going through it.
Yeah.
It's led us to this, and I personally think that where we are in our journey, where we are in our lifestyle journey, is a great place now, and we're still growing.
Yes.
And I don't know what our goals are for this lifestyle. I don't
No.
know what's going to happen. We're not planning it. We're just kind of going.
We're going for the ride.
We're going for the ride.
Yeah.
And everything that comes up, we're going to talk about. We're going to work it out. But I guess the real thing to say is I personally believe poly and ethical non-monogamy is great.
Yeah.
I am a big advocate for ethical non-monogamy and polyamory.
Yeah.
I think that it can work wonders for relationships. I also think it can be detrimental for relationships.
For sure.
I think that being poly, you can be poly not only as a couple, but you can be poly as a single person.
Yeah.
I just think ethical non-monogamy, period, is where it's at.
Yeah.
Because you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yes.
Because they tell you that all the time. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yes,
Bullshit.
you can.
I just baked the motherfucker. I'm gonna
That's
eat it.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And so I really believe that ethical non-monogamy and polyamory, I think they're a beautiful thing when you can successfully pull it off.
Yeah. Communication.
Exactly, man.
Like you have to be able to have those uncomfortable feelings, those uncomfortable conversations, and just spit it out. You see, like for us, if I say something, you're going to let it sit and then come back. We're going to come back to it.
Right.
So like you have to be able to have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
And it may just work for you, but either way, any kind of lifestyle, communication, man.
All the way. And even without the lifestyle, just be monogamous relationship.
Communication.
But you don't realize just how much that, couples will talk about their day. They'll talk about this and that, but they'll never realize just how much they need to communicate because there's a lot going on internally that they don't talk
Yeah.
about with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
And luckily, we've reached that where every single thing inside
Yeah.
we deal with, we kind of word vomited out to each
I
other.
do,
You know what I
especially
mean?
me.
Yeah.
I am an oversharer. So if there's something that I just do like, I will tell you about it and then I'll be like, I'm processing it, but I just wanted to get it off my brain. And then can we talk about it later? Like, this is not probably the
Yeah.
best time to talk about it
Yeah.
just because I'm a reactor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I've learned that that's your process and that you need to kind of throw it all out
Yeah.
and then go, we can revisit this later, but I just need to say this.
Yeah.
Cool. And I have those moments too where I'm just like, look, I just need to say this now to get it off my chest. We can talk about it later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because if I'm kind of person that if I don't let out the feelings immediately, I'm going to hold on to it. It's going to eat me up inside and
Yes.
it's going to change my demeanor.
Yeah.
And people know me to be very talkative and laughing and making people laugh and very jovial. But when I have things on my mind, I get very quiet and I get very reserved.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden it's like, well, what's wrong with Adam?
Yeah.
Why is Adam so quiet? What's happening? And people start thinking like it's the end of the world.
I know.
Why is Adam sitting there by himself not talking? And it's like,
I don't know. Go
nobody
check on
else
him.
seems to care. Nobody cares. All of a sudden somebody cares, you know? But
I'm so used to it that I'm
oh
like,
gosh.
I don't know. Go ask.
And see, this is why I would consider poly again. Just to have a girlfriend tell me, "Ah, I care about what you think. How about that?
Oh well, motherfucker.
You see, this is called open communication here. This is what happens when you become poly for 5 years and then you end it, and
This is what happens.
this is the
Yeah. You
baby
get
that's born. This is the baby that's born. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that this has been a very fun and very
It
revealing
was.
conversation. It wasn't
Yeah.
so bad, even though you had a small little breakdown in the middle of it.
I know.
You
No.
and your emotions. Jeez. Anyways, I love talking about this. And this is not going to be the last conversation we have. So
No.
get your tissues ready. At some point, we are going to be bringing this up again. I would like to personally talk to other polyamorous people who have had successful relationships and maybe are currently having successful relationships.
Yeah.
And just kind of pick their brain and talk about that because I really, really feel like this is an avenue that a lot of people are curious about. Uh, I think that there's a lot of people in the lifestyle who consider polyamory. And I think that the discussion needs to be held because you need to know what you're getting into when you jump into it.
Yeah.
Just
For sure.
bottom
I
line.
agree. I agree.
So I'm glad that we can have these open and honest conversations. It even if it makes me uncomfortable, I can still have them with you. You are my best friend,
You're mine.
which I think is amazing because I've always wanted to have a really, really beautiful best friend. Previous to you, dogs. Dogs. Both figuratively and literally. Dogs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rough.
That's right. So it's nice to have a best friend to look at that looks amazingly hot.
You know, I think you're pretty hot too.
Dude, I am, right? Oh
Yes,
my
you
gosh,
are.
she sure did state the obvious. Anyways, this hot guy is going to say goodbye to all of you wonderful people out there listening all over the place. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us rant and rave. We have obviously had some really good and really bad experiences. What you're hearing on this conversation, this is us. This is our raw life, and
Yes.
this is our conversations. This is not something that we put together for the sake of this show.
Yeah.
These are things that we talk about. This is what we've been through, and it's okay to talk to your spouse, your partner, your friends with that same open communication. I think it's personally important for personal growth. And, I really hope that our story can help you figure out what you want to do and maybe figure out where you can fix things if you're struggling.
Yeah.
And so, if you have any questions, if you have any stories, if you have anything you want to throw at us, feel free to contact us. We do have our Beyond Monogamy email address. That's Beyond Monogamy for you at gmail.com. So that's Beyond Monogamy, number 4, letter U at gmail.com. Maybe you've got a story you want heard on the air or you want something for us to visit. We certainly do welcome it. So be on the lookout. Scope out our social medias if you can. Just look up Beyond Monogamy for you with Adam and Pris, or
Yes.
Beyond Monogamy
Beyond Monogamy with Adam and
with
Pris.
Adam and Pris.
And you'll find us on different social medias, but we're also going to tag them when we post this video that we usually do before we drop every episode.
Absolutely. So
We'll
be
have
on the
all the
lookout.
information.
We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Snap, you name it. We are there. So you've got ways of contacting us. Hit us up. Let us see what you've got to say. With that being said, thank you for joining us for a very revealing conversation in chat. And we will see you next week.
Bye.